You heard two very eminent gentlemen speak and elucidate really very diverse points from the spectrum. The first is that there's no glossing over the fact that there has been disruption, that it is credible and it is present today. Secondly, is the whole question of how citizens, people, workers, employees, contractors, partners um, tend to react when caught in a situation that they haven't been exposed to before. Now, my whole concept is if you were to kind of bring these two together, how do you, in your space, in the kind of matters and the technology advancements that you helm, how do you see the whole concept of digital workspaces evolving? And where do you find technology meeting business value, relevance, authenticity?
Okay, so let me take that piece by piece, Arjun. Sure. First of all, it's quite interesting to hear the comments from Sachin and Amit. Let's just break it up individually. So when you speak about evolving workspace, so I've been a remote worker for some time. So from me, it's quite usual to work from home for any period of time. But one thing I have even myself have learned is this whole concept of video conferencing. Now, Sachin mentioned about how people were objecting to it. And I had the same thing from the initial start on no one wanted to go on video to now everyone's choosing a different background and it's more of a social thing. So that's already evolved in just a matter of a few days. So I can see your point there. And what's happened is people have grasped the technology and instead of being afraid of it, have started to embrace it. And Amit was saying about the deluge of information coming out there in social media. So before I talk about the technology, I just want to talk a little bit about, with my own staff, is making sure that we have the right focus when we're working from home. So it's a lot of contact, a lot of communication. We have IM, we can see presence, we can see who's there, who's available, know when you can contact them, when you can ping them. We use various other apps to keep in communication. And that way nobody feels alone. So that's the first thing I wanted to highlight is that in this situation, unprecedented situation, contact with individuals is really important. Now, if we go back to the whole remote working side of things and this evolution of the workspace, one of the things we did at Dell Technologies is really try to give the digital workspace to particularly the millennial or the younger generation, because they wanted to be able to access their tools and applications from anywhere on any device at any time. And being able to do that actually increases the opportunity to attract talent. So I won't steal any thunder from Prajit. So he'll talk about how VMware have helped us do that. So we certainly look at the unified workspace to allow people to have that digital workspace. But more importantly, it doesn't mean the company has to sacrifice security, and the IT administrators do not have to relinquish management or control of those devices. So that's the first most important thing. I won't go into detail how that's done because I'm sure Prajit will talk about that. What I will say,
yeah, so.
Yeah, but what I will say is that what it does, it allows us to do is have the ability for workers to be at home. And one of the things we're really very conscious of is making sure they've got the right working environment, something that's conducive to them to be able to be productive. And that's what this is really about, making sure that our staff remain productive for the benefit of the organization. So making sure they have the right environment, making sure they have the right tools, the right equipment, also making sure they look after themselves as well.